Hey everybody, Stephanie Brewer here, coming at you with another Math in a Minute. We're going to look at creating equations and inequalities. Eleanor bought 5 pints of frozen yogurt and a tray of jumbo shrimp from the food place for a total of $45. If the price of a tray of jumbo shrimp is $25, what is the price of a pint of frozen yogurt? Now we're starting with the simple problem that you can probably figure out without any algebra, but let's look at it with algebra. First sentence, Eleanor bought 5 pints of frozen yogurt and a tray of jumbo shrimp. Here we go. 5 pints of yogurt and a tray of jumbo shrimp. I've labeled those for you. We finished that part of the sentence, and we know now that it is a total of $45. So let's diagram that. All that together is $45. And we're finished with that part of the sentence. If a tray of jumbo shrimp is $25, so we're going to put $25 in the shrimp tray. And the question is, what's the price of a pint of frozen yogurt? Well, there we go. We have 5 yogurts plus $25 is $45. You may be able to figure that out in your head, but let's do it with the algebra. Subtract 25 from both sides. We have 5y equal 20. Divide both sides by 5. You get y equal 4. And now it was a word problem, so we're going to answer it with words. A pint of yogurt is $4. You're doing great. Let's keep going. 5 years from now, the sum of the ages of a woman and her daughter will be 40 years. The difference in their present ages is 24 years. How old is her daughter now? Well, let's look. Let's see, 5 years from now. So we're going to look at this entire sentence. The woman's age now, we're going to call that W. And the daughter's age now. This says 5 years from now. So in 5 years, how old will the woman be? She will be W plus 5. The daughter will be D plus 5. Let's see what the rest of the sentence says. The sum of the ages of a woman and her daughter will be 40 years in 5 years. So we're going to use W plus 5 plus D plus 5 equal 40. Now let's see what else we know. We finished with that sentence. The difference in their present ages is 24. That means that mom is 24 years older than daughter. So D plus 24, daughter plus 24. And we line that out. Now the question is how old is her daughter now? Well, can you see that we can easily remove the W from our original equation and replace it with D plus 24 since that's its equivalent. Well, now when we solve this, we have 2D plus 34 equal 40. If we subtract 34 from both sides, we get 2D equals 6. Now, I know you know this one. 2 times what will give you 6? 3. That is correct. So her daughter is 3 years old. Ready for another one? Next one's a little tougher, but we're only going to write an equation for it. The length of a rectangle is 3 meters longer than its width. The area of the rectangle is 270 meters. Write an equation for the area of the rectangle using only one variable. Here you go. So we're going to draw a rectangle. That's probably the best thing we should do. And we're going to put a W there. Guess what that stands for? Yes, width. Now we know that the length is 3 meters longer than the width. So length is W plus 3. And we're finished with that sentence. The area of the rectangle is 270 square meters. Well, we know that length times width is 270. All right, so we're finished with that sentence. Now it says write an equation for the area with only one variable. Well, I'll look over to my rectangle and I can see that L for length is the same thing as W plus 3. And I'm going to replace it right there and we're finished. with this problem. Time for a challenge problem. A motorboat travels 24 kilometers per hour in still water. Well, let's look at this for a minute because this problem is going to talk about downstream, upstream. So let's look at a picture. This is a stream of water, and we want to look at, if you go upstream, you're going against the current, which is going to make you slower. If you're coming downstream, the current's going with you, which makes your rate faster. Here's another way to look at it. Downstream with the current, you get plus the current, your speed plus the current. Upstream against the current, you get to subtract the current. It's kind of like running against the wind. So now let's look at the problem. So we know that a motorboat travels 24 kilometers per hour in still water. A man travels in the motorboat downstream from one town to another in 30 minutes. When he returns along the same route, upstream, it takes 45 minutes. What is the river current? Well, first of all, let's remember something. Distance equal rate times time. And this boat is traveling the same distance on both trips. Well, we know that downstream, we're going to add the current. So we're going to add the current. So 24 plus C is the rate times the time. What do you think it is going upstream? You're right. 24 minus the current times time. Now, we already know the time going downstream. It's 30 minutes. Let's name that in terms of an hour. That's half an hour. Okay, so 45 minutes going upstream, that time in hours is 3/4 of an hour, or 75 hundredths. Very nice. Now, we know that those two distances are the same. So we're going to set them equal to one another. And now we have an algebra problem. So when we distribute the half, we get 12 plus 1/2 C. When we distribute the 75 hundredths, we get 18 minus 75 hundredths C, or 3/4 C. Remember that you're using your calculator. Now, without showing all the steps, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides and add 0.75 C to both sides. Up, it's magic. And we have 1.25 C equal 6. When you use your calculator to divide that, you get 4.8. Remember, we're going to answer this with a sentence. The current is 4.8 kilometers per hour. This has been Math in a Minute, or two, coming at you from Kids First Education. For more Math in a Minute videos, visit our website at www.kidsfirst.llc. Kids first, always.